to Soul Symbols. My name is Shelley. I'm a writer, an astrologer, and a card reader, and I'd like to welcome you to my channel. Happy Saturday. It is the weekly energy card reading, and what that is it's a weekly video post. I'm sorry, I can't speak today. Where you, the viewer, get to choose from one of 3 tarot or oracle decks, and from that deck we'll go through and do a quick spread to see what the general energies will be like for the next 7 days. It does not need to be the week of December 26, 2020 to January 2nd, 2021 in order for the messages to resonate. If you come across this video at any time, if you feel drawn to it, there may be some messages contained for you. There is a saying in card reading. We say, take what resonates and leave the rest, which just basically means that we interpret symbols. As a card reader, I like to think of reading cards like dream interpretation, where I just kind of read into the energies at that time. Energies are very fluid, and again, sometimes if you're drawn to more than one pile, or if you're just drawn to one part of the video, sometimes what I like to do is I like to scroll through the video and just stop, and then it's almost like flipping open a book and pointing your finger at a paragraph. Sometimes that's one way that you can kind of just kind of throw a dart directly at the information that might be aimed for you. So however you like to do it, this video is for entertainment purposes only. So if you feel like the energies are not resonating or the messages are not speaking to you, you don't have to take it. It's all in good fun. It's all in good spirit, and that's how we roll. Now, if you ever want to jump straight to your reading, the timestamps are listed in the description box below, as are the names and the authors of the decks that I use. I will be clarifying today with an oracle deck, which I do every read. But again, we'll go with just the general energies of the week, and we'll go ahead and clarify. Now, I just wanted to do a very quick introduction. I can't believe that we are on the cusp of a new year. This is really nice. I'm really excited. I've got a kind of a renewed energy to do the reading today, because we're going to be looking at the week leading up to New Year's Day. And I know this last year has been a challenging one. It has really tested our mettle in a lot of ways. It has taught us new things, and it has really it's brought about a lot of change, right? And when you look at the some of the astrological planets in the sky, we've got Jupiter conjuncting Saturn for the first time in a long time, and it's in the sign of Aquarius, which is really amazing. It's like the age of Aquarius, and here you have those 3 energies. You have the expansion of Jupiter, and you have the taskmaster of Jupiter, of Saturn, combining in the element of positive and communal change. That's a powerhouse, and I know that we are it really feels like a paradigm shift for us right now, and I think that's really going to culminate with the New Year's Day. I think it's going to be a good day. So I'm excited to do this reading because we're going to be talking about New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. And real quickly, speaking of New Year's Eve, I was singing this song. I was flat out singing this song. I know if you've ever heard the Ella Fitzgerald version of "What Are You Doing New Year's Eve?" It's such a great song, and you hear it a lot on when you're listening to Christmas music, and it's just like Auld Lang Syne. It's one of those turn of the year kind of songs. And I did just want to share with you one of my favorite renditions. Actually came out probably about 8 years ago, and it was just a complete YouTube video. I think it was like an Instagram video where Zooey Deschanel and Joseph Gordon Hewitt she picked up a ukulele, he picked up a acoustic guitar, and they filmed this really great scene. I'm gonna go ahead and post the video because it's one of my favorite. Zooey is really, she's a good singer. She's always, I think that's one, I think she's like a triple threat. I think she can dance, sing, and act. But I really love it because she has just a beautiful, deep kind of, she has a resonating kind of, she has that deep baritone to her voice, even though she's very feminine. And I just love the way she's kind of channeling her own inner Elvis. She even has like the little lip curl, and she's like, maybe it's just too early in the game, but I thought I'd ask you just the same. What are you doing New Year's? New Year's Eve. So I love that song, and it's funny when I think of that rendition, because I love Ella's version, but I love that version too. It gets me in the mood. It totally gets me in the mood. And I was actually kind of giggling because Pile 3 is the vice versa tarot, and what it is there's no formal card back to this deck, and the very top of it is temperance, and yeah, I don't know, for some reason it looks like she's mixing drinks or something. I'm sorry, don't know where that's coming from, but bartender deck, but it doesn't have to resonate that way. Whatever deck you're drawn to. But I sincerely, in all honesty, I hope it's a wonderful night. I hope it brings a lot of inspiration. I hope the next day, I know not all of our problems are going to disappear, January 1st, but it's such a sign of, such a sign of transition and such a sign of new hope. And it feels like an ace in a lot of ways when, with it being 1/1, 2001. But also, if you do see, I'm a little dressed down. This is my normal uniform, but I am feeling, just to warn you, I'm feeling a little schleppy today. If you do see me, I'm wearing straight up sweats. But just to make it fancy, since this is New Year's reading, I did put on a pretty ring, and I am wearing perfume, so I smell good. I don't, you can't smell me, but I just promise you, I smell good, and I've got pretty jewelry, so there you go. All right. Okay, blabbing over. Let's go ahead and introduce your decks. And again, if you want to skip over all of this gum flapping, the timestamps, description box below, fast pass, moving on. We have 3 decks here. I have been itching to use my Morgan Greer. So I'm really excited. This is my dear old friend. This is the first formal deck that I learned tarot on. And on top we have a beautiful piece of sea glass, which was actually gifted to me. So that's also, it has good juju. Second pile is the Linestrider Tarot by Siolo Thompson, and on top is a beautiful blue fluorite. The last desk. Oh, sorry guys. I think I'm a little tired. I've done a lot of talking today, so it isn't that my jaw is almost a little it's hurting a little, and not in a bad way, but after this I think I'm just gonna not talk for a while. But the third deck is the Vice Versa Tarot, and on top of it is a beautiful Dalmatian Jasper. And we are going to be clarifying using the Quantum Oracle by Sandra and Taylor. And if you need more time, please pause the video. I also ask that you just please choose from your intuition, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, we're back. Let me go ahead and move the decks up. I was also really excited to do this reading because last week was the kind of the week of Christmas, and there was a little bit of melancholy energy. Not to say that we have to be, dancing on tables, this time of year, but I did see just a little bit of the holiday blues going on. So I'm hoping, that we all feel better this week, and that, maybe as the holidays begin, that we'll start to really get into the happy, right? All right, so my beloved Morgan Greer. I'm really seeing the 9 of Swords. It was popping out quite a bit. But beginning of your week, let's go ahead and see. Beginning of the deck energy. Oh, okay. Ah, all right. Middle of the week. Whoa, nice. And end of the week, please. Okay, end of the week. Oh gosh, so many cards. Okay, one card, please. I'm making note of the ones that want to pop out. All right, we got a 10 sandwich. Wow, this is actually really kind of cool, guys, because again, we talked about the conjunction of, in the intro, we talked about the conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn, and they do, they do kind of refer to that as the Christmas star. So that's a very big astrological movement in the sky right now. So, oh, wow, okay. All right. Very cool. All right, guys. So this is a really beautiful week. It's a good week. You do have, that's what's so interesting about this is that, we were just talking about New Year's Eve being 1/1/2001, right? And it's kind of like a culmination. It's like the beginning, when you see pictures of New Year's, you always see the old Father Time and baby New Year, right? It's like the 1 year is retiring and the new year is coming in. So it's almost like a changing of the guard, so to speak. But beginning of the week, you have a beautiful beginning of the week. You have the 10 of Cups. So I do think that this could very well be what I'm kind of getting, and especially with your Oracle card. And what's really interesting is, oh wow, guys, we got a synchronicity with the stars here. That's really quite lovely. Now, in this deck in particular, you see just the arms of a man and a woman. So I do think that it's possible that maybe I just get a sense that there's a lot to celebrate. Again, over the weekend, it would still be the tail end of the Christmas holiday. Like Christmas, if you celebrate, Christmas would be on Friday, and then Saturday, the 26th, would be kind of the start of the week. We go through the 26th through that beginning Monday. So I just think I'm getting a strong sense that you're feeling really on top of the world. I do think that you're feeling just that. We always say the 10 of Cups is that happiness money can't buy, and I do love this imagery because it looks like a line of cups, right? It's just like, it's almost like joy after joy after joy after joy. But one thing that I do kind of see with this is that you've got 9 cups back there, and then you have 1 cup with the rainbow coming out of it. So, and you got 2 hands holding that cup. So, and we just had a tarot on the ace. So I do think that maybe you have something to celebrate. Maybe you got to spend Christmas with your, I do get a sense that you might have spent the holiday or the preceding weekend with family, or either that or with someone that you really love, someone that brings you a lot of joy. The other thing is that maybe in addition to the regular, I'm getting a strong sense that in addition to regular festivities, that there were other really happy beginning events. Like that Ace of Cups, really, that 1 cup looks like an ace to me. And then, in the backdrop, you got 9 of Cups, which normally is like wish fulfillment. I am also seeing a lot of nature here, so it's quite possible that maybe you kind of got away with your love. A lot of us are still social distancing, and we're not really doing a whole lot of big gatherings over the holidays. So maybe you did go to some kind of natural setting. Maybe you went to a cabin in the woods. I can tell you personally that I had a family member get engaged in the last week, and it was just such a wonderful thing. What was also really beautiful about it is that her fiance has a birthday around this time, and then you have Christmas. So I'm almost getting that. I'm getting like that intensified, that's kind of what I'm getting. I feel like you're celebrating more than just the holiday season. I think, maybe it's someone's birthday, which can kind of be indicated by 9 cups, and then Ace of Cups can definitely be an engagement. But I do get the sense that whatever it is, it's either you and your love kind of one-on-one, I do feel like you're kind of getting away from the world. Maybe you did rent a cabin, or maybe you're spending the holiday kind of on your own, and you feel. The other thing is that maybe you're going out on walks with one another, where you are getting out into nature a little bit. But I am getting a strong sense with this pile that you've got something other to celebrate. You've got more to celebrate than just the holiday, and it's like it's almost like like a cake of, it's like layer upon layer upon layer of just joy, and that's really beautiful, guys, because that's really wonderful. I do also think that you and your person, if this is a marriage or a family, I do think that you're having fun with family, but I do also think that you're feeling really like almost like of one heart with your spouse or your girlfriend or your boyfriend. You're feeling really connected to them. So that's really beautiful. So even if it's not something as big as an engagement, I do think that maybe you just had a really good holiday season. Maybe you're meeting someone's parents for the first time, or maybe you're celebrating a birthday in addition to Christmas. But I am getting a little bit of a social distancing feel. I almost get the feeling like the happiness is a little bit, you're still sharing it with your family, but it's like intensified. I am seeing just the two people here being very much in love. Now, beginning of the middle of the week is really beautiful, guys, because you've got the number 10 means the culmination of a cycle. It means that you're completing a cycle. And in the middle of the week, and you've got two tens here, but in the middle of the week, you've got the star, which is also a water bearer, and you see two cups of water. So what I'm kind of seeing is that this is really beautiful, guys. Now, first off, I do think that maybe you did get a chance, if you're a photographer, or maybe if you, I'm getting a lot of nature here. I get a sense that you like to go outside. I think that you like to be amongst nature, or you like to look at the stars. I think in the middle of the week, you just feel really hopeful. I'm getting that sense like you just feel like the future is just full of possibility. The other thing is that I think that you're feeling. I'm getting a sense that maybe you're very positively aspected by the astrological transits in the sky. We do have a Jupiter conjunct Saturn at 0 degrees Aquarius, so we are in the age of Aquarius. The other thing is the star it's ruled. This card is ruled by the sign of Aquarius, like the water bearer, right? So maybe you might have some kind of placement in your chart. Maybe if you have a rising, or your sun or your Mercury is at 0 degrees of an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. But I am getting a strong sense. You know what? I'm getting a strong sense of conjunction, though. So I think that you feel really optimistic about the future. I think with all the positive changes, and especially coming out of a happy weekend, I just feel like you're looking forward to the future. The other thing is that I get is, again, with it being kind of a challenging year, it's almost like you're looking forward to things being good again. Now, one thing I've always said, just to put the astrologer hat on for a moment, is that anytime Saturn leaves a sign, Saturn is one of the slower moving planets, and it really is a hard transition. Saturn, and interesting enough, Saturn was going through its own ruling sign. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So for the last 2.5 years, Saturn has been in its own sign. And you've seen the challenges that we've had in the last 2 years. It's been really, it rules patriarchs and fathers, and what it means to be the leader of a family. There's a lot. It rules the working world, right? And Aquarius is such a different kind of energy. Excuse me. Pardon me. Aquarius is this whole different It's that future energy where, and it's about technology and community and working as a whole and the needs of all. So I really think that, and especially with those two planets, with Saturn finally moving into Aquarius, that you're feeling hopeful about the future. The other thing is that I do get a sense that you feel like the worst. By the middle of the week, I do get a sense that you might be going outside and actually seeing the star. It doesn't just have to be on Christmas Day. Usually the two planets are still close enough, for a week afterwards where they still look like they're, together in the sky, where you might actually go outside and see it. Um, I also get a sense that, maybe you don't take pictures of it, but maybe you do go outside because I'm seeing the same trees in the background. Um, so I do. The other thing is you have a red bird here, which is kind of a little bit of a cardinal energy. But I do get the sense that you're just kind of looking up at the sky and knowing that everything is going to be okay. Now, by the end of the week, you do. This is a little bit of a switch, but it's still like a finishing up kind of energy. By the end of the week or leading up to New Year's Day, I think that you're going to have a little bit of work to do. I am almost getting like maybe you had some vacation time around Christmas, but then you're coming back to work by the middle of the week or by the end of the week. Either that or just, um, maybe I do see this as being a little bit of an ebb. Maybe again you had all this good news, you got to announce things, you got to make plans, but by the end of the week, it's almost like now, okay, I'm hearing back to reality. It doesn't mean the honeymoon is over. It just means that okay, now I actually have to start doing the work to get this stuff started. The other thing that I get here is that maybe you do have some last minute things. That one other thing that I kind of get is that maybe if you have been kind of taking a break for the holiday, maybe you do have to clock back in and take care of a few things. Or the other thing that might be happening that I'm kind of getting a sense of, which is weird, um, maybe you're on call, like maybe you're away for vacation, but you get kind of like that call on the bat phone. Because the one thing with the Ten of Wands is sometimes that can be picking up chores for other people, like other people throwing their responsibilities on you. So, what I'm kind of seeing here, and not to sound strange, is that if you do work in retail or some kind of a job, maybe you legitimately took the week off, but then someone called out sick or something, or someone's not able to do something, so you have to step in and kind of do more than the lion's share. But I see that you're tackling it. You can see this person, unlike a lot of wands, you can see that they're inconvenienced by it and it's a lot to do. The other thing that I kind of get is that I get the sense that there might be some kind of thing that you have to do before the new year, and it's almost like you're rushing to wrap it up. Maybe you have some kind of paperwork or some kind of project that needs those, they're like, okay, the deadline is December 31st, 2020. It can't be past that. It must be done. And so all of a sudden at the end of the week, you're kind of, putting in that extra effort to make sure that it's done on time. But it's I'm also getting a sense of like odds and ends. It's almost like loose ends of things. But I do also kind of get the feeling like you might be picking up, like this might have been stuff that other people left undone, that you have to be like, okay, fine, it needs to be done by December 31st. We can't leave it. Let me do it. um, Now, your oracle card, and this is both your advice, is that you got family. You got family. And what's really amazing is you do also have more stars. You have clouds and stars. There's so much sky in all of these cards, guys. I think that's really, really beautiful. So the other thing that I kind of get is that maybe you're looking forward to family. Um, One other thing, just to throw it out there, is that you might have found out that you were expecting, and it's making you feel like really blessed, like the stars are shining upon you. But the other thing that I can get is that this might legitimately be time with family that makes you feel really good. What's beautiful is that there's numbers at the top of each of these cards, and this is number 2. So there's two people in this first card, and there's stars. I mean, there's a lot of stars here, guys. But so yeah, maybe you're feeling really happy with your family. Either that, or you could be, one other way I kind of read this is that you're really excited about the news, but it's almost like you feel like you have to start preparing, like you're ready to gear up for the new year because maybe you're supporting family or supporting little ones. The last thing that I kind of get is that maybe this could be a call to spend some time with your children. I always say, it's amazing how just those little interactions. Um, the other thing that I get is that time flies really really fast, and sometimes those little moments, like when your toddler says something really adorable, or your 7-year-old starts to lose their first tooth, or the other thing that I kind of get is doing those little special traditions with your children, like doing the tooth fairy thing if they lose a tooth, or um, one tradition that what my mom really instilled in us is that we were a family of 4, and I have an older sister. And what it was is that every weekend there was a budget, right? We were budgeted. Every weekend one person got to do what they wanted to do. And then as a family, we would go do so one weekend it was whatever dad wanted to do, and the rest of us, we had to go and do what dad wanted to do. And then one weekend mom got to do what she wanted to do. And of course there's this stipulation: if this person wants to go off and do what they want to do by themselves, it is up to them. They don't have to have a caravan. But what I'm kind of getting from this is, especially when children are younger, they don't have the option of going to the zoo by themselves, right? And of course with social distancing. But I am almost getting a sense like this is the universe's advice. It's like telling you, if it's your little one's weekend, and they want to go do something kind of unusual, or whatever activity they want to do, go ahead and participate and spend that time with them, because I feel like it would really enlighten you. It would also, I think it would bring you a lot of joy. The other thing that I kind of get with the family card is that maybe if you are single and you don't have any kids of your own, spending time with family or around people that you feel are like your family, there's going to be, it's almost like that hope that you feel looking at the stars, being around little young ones that kind of, again, children say the darndest things, and what they like to do is very interesting, right? A lot of times adults don't give a whole lot of, put a lot of stock into what goes through a little one's imagination. But one other thing that I kind of get, which is this is a weird message, but please let me know if this is meant for you. Sometimes you can get wonderful ideas from the perspective of a child. Like a child tells you something that they observe, and it's like an epiphany, right? And there's plenty of stories, there's plenty of movies that talk about that. Oh, what I was thinking of the other day, and I know this sounds crazy, and it's a little bit more of a sadder movie, but if you've ever seen the movie Lorenzo's Oil, their son was diagnosed with a disease that had not been discovered yet, and imagine how heartbreaking that is. And their father, his father kept going to the library, and his father was not a scientist. He wasn't, a mathematician, but he kept going to the library and kept going, well, this is how the molecules in his body are reacting. And he kept thinking about it, and he made a chain of paper clips, and he figured out what was going on. he figured out what was going on. I almost get the same thing with this, except something that a child or a little one said, like their perception, they're very innocent, and and very, I've met children who are very wise, old souls in little bodies. Someone might, the child might say something that might completely open your mind or give you some kind of idea. So that's a specific message. The other thing that I get is that if you feel a little bit bogged down, they're going to make you feel lighter. But wow, guys, either way, that's a really beautiful week. That's so positive, and that's really great. You got 2 10s. It's definitely going to feel like the culmination, the wrapping up of the year for you. All right, so deck number 2, we've got the Linestrider Tarot by Siolo Thompson. So let's go ahead and see deck number 2. What's your energy for the week? So deck number 2, beginning of the week, please. Okay, we're going to go with what's on top. Oh my gosh, we got 2 major arcanas. Middle of the week. Okay. End of the week, please. Wow. Whoa. Okay, I'm sorry. I have a few cards that are flipping out, so I just want to get the right energy here. Ooh, whoa. Okay, please clarify. We have so much fire energy. We've got lions galore. Strength even tried to pop out, and that has a lion in it. So I'm definitely I'm getting a crap ton of Leo and fire energy from this read, guys. So you don't necessarily have to be a fire sign. But the other thing is that we've got 3 majors. We got a king and a queen, and the Queen of Swords was trying to pop out. I'm not trying to take a million cards, but this seems like a dynamic week. This tried to pop out earlier too. And the 10 of Wands. All right. Okay, I'm not trying to make this a whole saga, but I needed some clarification. Wow, guys, this is some craziness. Now, first off, beginning of the week, I always say, and I always say, I don't know if it's true or not. Excuse me. Just because you see majors in a week, like when a major arcana shows up, majors are like the big gears of a clock. They're the bigger events of your life, that as the bigger events of your life turn, they turn the smaller gears. So, like you going to college will turn the smaller gears of you getting your degree, with you getting your first job, which you getting your career that pays for your house. That, it's like these bigger events, play into the smaller events. So it doesn't major is going to happen in the beginning of the week, but it just means that you're seeing the evidence of that energy. You're seeing the beginning of the week is going to be a more manifestation of a larger, longer term life goal, and you're just seeing more of that energy kind of present in the beginning of your week. And what I see here is the beginning of the week we have Hierophant, and you've got the Fool. So I get a lot of spiritual energy from this. It's almost like what I'm getting is that the root of it is the Fool, and I just feel like I'm getting a strong sense in the beginning of the week you are ready to go after what you believe in, and what you believe in doesn't necessarily have to be like a traditional religion, but I'm just seeing that I feel like you're following your higher power. It's interesting. This last Tuesday, we did the How to Tarot on the Ace of Cups, and we talked a lot about how the Ace of Cups can kind of be that contact. It can be the current between you and your higher power. Call it God, call it your spirit guides, call it whatever you believe in. And what I'm kind of getting here is that the Hierophant can be a spiritual mentor, like somebody who teaches you and leads you. So it can be a pastor, it can be someone that you trust in, spiritually. But the other thing that it can be is that it can be you, because what you see here is you see a bear, which rules security. It also rules strength. And I am seeing a theme of a lot of strength here. But in front of it, you see the hand of like the Pope when he blesses someone. And then you see two keys in the background. And the root of this is the Fool. So what I'm really getting here is that what I'm getting is following, and again, if following your holiday weekend, maybe I am getting a sense that maybe you attended mass for something, and it really, I think, feel like, what I'm almost getting here is that you almost got like maybe you did attend church, or whatever you believe in, or maybe you practiced some kind of on over the weekend, over the holiday, you practiced some kind of ritual that just really made you feel connected. Maybe you did some meditation, maybe you lit a candle and said a prayer. Maybe you went outside and looked at the Christmas star, because, like we said, there's a lot of conjunctions in the sky that just makes you, and goodness knows, as above, so below. You just feel like you feel the current, of energy, right? And I think it's really inspiring you. The other thing is that I feel like I get this strong sense that you feel empowered. You feel empowered um, to follow what you believe in, or what you're following your own kind of spiritual path. And the other thing I get with the key, because anytime you see the key, that's a Lenormand kind of meaning. It means unlocking a problem. It means a solution. It also kind of means an epiphany. It's like having your mind open to something. And the Fool is very much that energy, because the Fool is about just feeling really excited about something. And on top of the Fool, you have the Bluebird of Happiness, right? And he looks like he's zooming too. He looks like he's just flying ahead. Um, so what I'm kind of getting is that I feel like you've over the weekend of maybe over the Christmas weekend, you feeling like you're feeling this real spiritual kind of jolt. There's no other way I can describe it. I just feel like you feel like you're on path and you're raring to go. Um, Again, with this being the weekend of New Year's Eve, maybe following the holiday weekend, maybe you have plans. You have an idea of where you want to go in the next year, and something about the holiday weekend of Christmas really just kind of got you spiritually really jived. Um, it is possible that maybe you heard a sermon that really spoke to you. Either that, or you just, I'm getting a strong sense that you just, have you ever heard the song "Suddenly I See"? It's by Katie Tunstall, but it's like it's almost like just all of a sudden you feel like things are open to you. I feel like a trap door has been thrown open and you're free to go forward. And it feels very spiritual. And I know that's kind of heavy for the beginning of the week, but we have moments like that in our lives. I've definitely had moments like that where I expect it to be a regular week, completely boring, normal, but it's almost like something happens that gets you really excited, like, oh, you get an idea for something, or you start, doing a hobby that that all of a sudden turns out to be something really big. Um, I just feel like that you feel very spiritually free, and maybe it's something that something about the peace over the weekend, or maybe it's an idea that you got. But I definitely feel like it's like on a spiritual level. It's like this. The other thing that I kind of get is that maybe you really did get like, a lot of readers talk about spiritual downloads, almost like you're downloading, when you do downloads of songs on a computer. Maybe something over the holiday really inspired you, and you feel like, not to sound funny, but if you've ever seen the movie The Matrix, you know how they do that download, and all of a sudden he's like, I know kung fu. It's like, I feel like it's like that kind of energy. Something got, something really got, all of a sudden, you went to sleep, you had a crazy dream, you woke up and you're like, I know what I need to do, and you're raring to go. The other thing about the Fool is that the Fool, there is a little bit of divine ness in the Fool as well, because he's stepping off the cliff and he knows the universe will catch him, right? He's not afraid of falling. And that's really amazing. Again, it's almost like that, God or the universe is going to catch you. So that's really powerful energy, guys. It's really, really amazing. And again, you're very confident with this direction that you want to go in. You're very confident. Now, this is where it gets very interesting, is by the end of the week, and wow, guys, we got a lot of rabbit energy here, too. Uh, I think it's interesting. By the middle of the week, I feel like you're going to be very much in your dynamic power. If you're a woman watching this, I feel like, again, I just, the Queen of Wands is very much the it girl. Like she's powerful, because when she knows what she wants, there is no stopping her. And she's always portrayed as kind of the Hollywood starlet, but she doesn't have to be. A lot of leaders have Leo in their chart, and I'm seeing a lot of lion energy here. And with the bear too, I'm seeing a lot of strength. But the other thing is with that black cat, there's a black cat in just about every Queen of Wands card. But here, this cat is like crawling on her. They almost have the same eyes, right? And I think that you're very much in your power. The other thing that I kind of get is that it's almost like in the beginning of the week, some kind of switch flips, and you're going to be crazy dynamic by the middle of the week. Have you ever had those weeks where you kind of get this, wind under your wings, and then all of a sudden everyone's looking at you like, dang, she's, when you know what you want to do. The other thing that I get is that with the black cat, it's a little mysterious. It's a little kind of, they always say it's kind of witchy woman. It doesn't have to be witchy. It doesn't have to be that. But what I'm kind of getting here is that maybe you have some kind of plan for your career. I'm almost getting a little bit of a high priestess vibe. It's almost like, you ever walk into a room when you're starting your own business, or when you're killing it at work, and you go to a party on the sidelines, and you feel confident, right? You walk into a room, you know that you had a good week. It's almost like in the back of your mind, all those plans that you have, they're making you feel like you have all the potential in the world, and it's making you feel real badass, and you're glowing from that. You're glowing from that. The other thing that I kind of get is that you're garnering attention. So you're feeling real strong, and again, this feels like a higher purpose here, and that higher purpose is really fueling your confidence. Now, what's interesting here is that by the middle of the week to the end of the week, you're getting your glow on. I promise you, this pile, please let me know. Middle of the week, if you don't have some kind of crazy glow up, and it can be on a small scale, doesn't mean that you have to like start, doesn't mean that you have to do a startup Fortune 500 company by Friday or anything, but I do think by the middle of the week that whatever ideas that you have are really going to get a lot of attention, and people are going to. First off, I think that you're getting attention of men. Guys are finding that mad sexy. And the other thing is it's just giving you a sense of strength. But by the end of the week, and I am, in the beginning, in the intro, I talked about that song. What do you do in New Year's Eve? Maybe it's much too early in the game, but I get a sense that there is, because the other thing is that we've got magic wands here. We've got magic wands. The other thing is that there's a lot of sexual attraction here, by the way. So I know a lot of us are still social distancing, and I, highly encourage that. If you're watching this video at the time it posts, I'm not saying go to a party, but I do get the sense that you are going to be feeling very much in your power. And I kind of read this one of two ways. I'm really getting more of a separate person from this. Now, you might be on an upswing where your energy goes from Queen of Wands to King of Wands, where, and you can be a man or a woman watching this. If you're a man watching it and you're manifesting as a queen, it doesn't mean that you're being effeminate. It just means that you're resonating more with your emotions, like your yin kind of side of you. And all men and women have this. There's a lot of women who can be more in their strength and be, acting kind of guy-like, because that's when we're exuding our yang, our offense versus defense. So it could be kind of that upswing where you're just growing. You're going right up the bell curve of you going from you're starting off as real receptive, and then you're going straight into lion power, where you're feeling a lot more masculine by the end of the week. Now, the other way that I kind of read this, especially because the root cards, you've got the Six of Pentacles, and you've got the Magician. And I'm going to come out and call it here, guys. I think that you've been kind of doing the dance with somebody. Maybe, this is a little funny. This is really quite crazy, but I think that you might have had your eye on someone, and someone's definitely had their eye on you, where you guys are you're equal energy, and this other person is kind of a King of Wands energy, and you're a Queen of Wands. And what's happening is the Six of Pentacles is that give and take card, right? It's about when one person has more to give, so they give to those who are in need of it. And the Magician card is about manifesting, right? It's about manifesting. And you know what? And these two are equals. So I'll just kind of read it both ways. I know this is a little bit of crazy energy, but what I'm kind of getting is that maybe you've been kind of doing a dance with someone who hasn't been giving you a whole lot of attention. And what it was is maybe they were flat out kind of ignoring you or avoiding you. And by the middle of the week, they can't ignore you anymore. And rock on, honey, because what you're doing is you're taking what you have, right? Because when I say the Six of Pentacles, sometimes I get a little bit of I roll a little bit. It's not a bad card. It's not a bad card. It's about equal treatment. But usually it's about one person feeling like they have a little bit of the upper hand, because, they're giving back, but it almost feels a little bit like charity. And what I'm getting here is it's almost like maybe someone kind of had their eye on you, and they're like, well, I'm busy. I don't have a whole lot of time to spend talking to you. But then all of a sudden you've got some kind of side project, or you've got ideas, or you're starting your side business. You're killing it at work. You're taking virtual classes at school, and you're feeling real confident. And by the middle of the week, it's almost like, what I'm kind of getting from this, because you look at the eye contact in this. you got the king of, you got Aslan over here looking like, well, I got stuff going on. I'm busy. I'll try to give you some time or some attention when I can. And then you got you over here going, all right, I'm not waiting for you over here. I'm pretty damn busy myself. And you know what it is that this feels like, it feels like a little bit, it feels like a little bit of a competition here. I'm not gonna lie, it feels like a little bit of a competition, and to be honest, we got 5 of Swords popping up in the mix here, guys. And the one thing about the King and Queen of Wands, and it's funny, I did when I did the How to Tarot for the King of Swords, I wish I always end up looking in retrospect and going, gosh, I wish I had done this with every single one of the couples. But I talked about the dynamics between the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. I wish I had done that with the King of Wands, Queen of Wands. I really didn't get a chance to elaborate, and maybe I can do that now. But the thing is, there's an undercurrent of pride between these two elements. They're both extremely strong characters. But it's one of those things where you don't, in the middle is not a good place to stand if there's a showdown between these two. I'm almost getting a little bit of a competition vibe, but it's not, you know what I'm almost getting is I'm getting kind of a sense of denial here. And what it is that the other thing is that the Queen of Wands is the it girl. The Queen of Wands is the woman that all other women want to look like, want to be, and she's the woman that all the other guys want to have on their arm. They would really be tripping over themselves to, get her number, right? But the King of Wands is kind of dynamic because he's the king, right? He's her equal, and it's almost like, I think by the middle of the week to the end of the week, and you see how this is laid out. These two energies are completely parallel to each other. Then you got a 6 of Pentacles, which is a balancing of the scales. It's a balancing of the scales, and then underneath it you have a Magician, and he's waving a magic wand. And a magician has all 4 of the elements in front of him. He has the pentacle, he has the cup, he has the sword, he has the wand. So you know what I'm sensing here, guys? I'm getting a strong sense that maybe it isn't that somebody was trying to make you feel low, but maybe someone that you are very much on the level with. I'm really getting a strong sense that you're the queen and this other person's the king, and genders make no difference. Assign the roles as they resonate. That does not matter. But I get the sense that you're getting your glow up, and someone who was really kind of in their ego a little bit, and the King of Wands is not a bad character. He's very warm. But it's one of those things that when a Queen of Wands walks in the room, she makes all heads turn anyway. But when she look at how he's looking, it's almost like made you look. You walk in the room, and that guy who's been so prideful, who hasn't had any time, he kind of turns his head and is like, made you look. So what I'm kind of getting is that it's not that you're demanding equal treatment. It's not like what I'm really strongly getting is this is with your actions, guys. This is with your actions. There are no words spoken. And you can see it. Their mouths are closed. Their lips are sealed. But I feel like you're feeling really spiritually drawn to something. You're really excited about it. You're doing it with a real flair and kind of that, you're doing it with finesse, Oh, you know what? Also, in the King of Swords video, I talked about, there was a Vogue video that talked about Catherine Zeta-Jones, and she made me laugh so much. She's a Libra woman, and I just love her. I love her sense of humor. But she goes, she's wearing a pink dress, and she goes, you got to wear pink to make the boys wink, And that's what I'm getting. Except I'm getting that you're wearing gold to make everyone bow down is what you're doing. And you're not doing it on purpose. You're just I'm getting a sense that you're stepping into your power, And what you're really doing is you are on the level with someone who was, I think other people, other women really wouldn't be able to step up to this person. And I do think that this person kind of has an authority where they kind of make you feel like, well, I'm busy, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And you're like, okay, well, I'm doing my own thing too. I'm not waiting around for you. So it's almost like instead of waiting for them to give you the time and attention, you're using what you've got, and this person wants to give you time and attention because you're so amazing. It's like you're manifesting the equal treatment. You're manifesting the equal treatment because you know what you deserve. I also get a strong sense that I'm just getting the sense that you're leveling up with this person without even thinking about them because you're doing your own thing. But your energy is naturally the same ilk as theirs. Now, I do. And I also think you kind of feel like you're going into alignment with someone. The other thing that it could be is that there might be kind of just a natural give and take with somebody that you feel like is your equal. This could be a husband or wife. It could be that by the end of the week you're just again, this is some really powerful energy here, guys. I can't tell you. The other thing is that I feel like you're really expressing your natural creativity and your natural finesse. That's all I can think of. It's like your the sun. I'm getting a strong solar plexus from this too. It's almost like you're glowing, and but I get a sense that that's how you naturally are. The other thing that I get is that you're just naturally very self-confident. But I think by the end of the week, you do have someone kind of looking at you. The other thing that I kind of get, and this is kind of cute. What I'm kind of reading it is because these other cards, you got the Ace of Pentacles and you got the Two of Wands. I'll be honest, guys, with this many bunnies and you got someone really crazy, stupid attracted to you by the end of the week. Like, they would jump over a table. The other thing I kind of get is that they're pretending like they're not attracted to you, but you're making tongues wag here. The other thing that I kind of get is that it's almost like they feel almost defeated by you. I am getting a little bit of a battle here, like not in a bad way, but it's one other way that I kind of read this is that maybe someone was kind of holding off from talking to you. Maybe they were like, well, I'm going to do things on my time. I'm going to do things my way. And you're just kind of like, okay, I may be here, I may not be. I'm doing my own manifestation thing. And it's really wearing them down. It's taking a lot because what they want is they want to. I do get a strong sense that it's almost like. And again, in the introduction, we talked about the song "What Are You Doing New Year's Eve." I almost get the feeling like someone is crazy attracted to you, and you're really shining bright this week. That this person does feel defeated. The other thing that I kind of get is that maybe you're posting things because Swords is also social media. It's like verbal, and it's almost like there's like a win-lose dynamic here. But this is where it sounds crazy. Please tell me if this resonates at all. Going into the week, I get the sense like the King of Wands expects to win, or he looks like he's winning, right? Again, he looks like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to be kind to you. I have more than you have. I'm going to give you, I'm going to give back to you when I have time. And you look like you have less than him, but something about this path that you're on or whatever you're doing, and I do think it might be social media. Again, you might be posting videos on social media and people are just really looking at you like, again, like movie star. that this person can't even front anymore. They can't front. They can't front. The other thing that I kind of get is that maybe they were trying to hold out on giving you something. I do get kind of a sense like maybe it was a gift. The other thing is that I think you're turning heads, and I do think that there's one person who's really your equal who may have been kind of holding out or fronting like they're not paying attention to you, like they did that they're not ready to approach you yet. But it's almost like you're pushing the envelope because you're shining so bright. I'm almost getting a vibe like somebody might have been holding off on contacting you, but the way that you're shining so bright this week, that they're afraid that someone else is going to snatch you up, that you might even expedite their plans. I have a feeling that they planned on talking to you. Maybe they planned on again, I'm hearing, what are you doing New Year's Eve? The other thing that I kind of get is, with this being the Two of Wands, maybe they had some kind of game plan that they were going to approach you in February, but you just look so good this week that they're like, okay, let me move the plan up to New Year's because I can't wait this long. She's looking fly on like all over social media accounts, and if I wait one more week, she's going to be snapped up by someone. But the thing is, I don't feel like you're doing it intentionally. I don't feel like you're doing it intentionally. The other thing that I'm kind of getting is that if this person has been kind of prideful and not showing you a whole lot of attention, you're manifesting that. You are, and it's almost, again, I'm you know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing that scene in Cinderella, like the real life Cinderella. She didn't have anything. She had nothing. She was wearing raggedy clothes, but she was still really beautiful. And the things that she said were really meaningful, and the things that she did really took care of people. And it's almost like, it's like this person can't resist that. You just by you doing your thing, you're manifesting them giving more to you. The other thing that I get is that it's your due. It's your due. I keep seeing equal, right? Equal scales, equal energy, male, female, But there is a little bit of Five of Swords energy here, so I do feel like one person is going to feel a little bit defeated. But the Ace of Pentacles and the Two of Wands, what I'm getting here is that I feel like this person has a choice. And it's a choice that they have to make. But it's really, by the end of this week or coming up on New Year's, it's almost like you're pushing them to make that choice. They feel defeated, like, okay, let me go ahead and make this choice now. But I do think that the choice is you, because you look like counterparts, right? But I definitely think you're getting your shine on. And it doesn't mean that you have to look like perfect on social media or anything like that. I just think that you're really, I also think, the Queen of Wands is a very warm personality. She's very generous. So it could quite possibly be that maybe you're getting some acclaim for whatever it is you do. Maybe you've done a lot of kind acts for people. The other thing that I kind of get is that I am getting that this person almost thinks that, I think this person thinks that you're putting a spell on them or something like that, that they're like, oh my gosh, this energy just can't be natural. She's too powerful. But it's not unnatural. It's just you. That's how you roll. Now, your Oracle card is really quite interesting. You got another number 2. I'm feeling a lot of couples vibes. Like the last deck got a number 2. And here it says consciousness. Sorry, it doesn't focus unless I put my hand behind it. There you go. Focus, please. But it says number 2 in consciousness, and it is the yellow chakra again. And look at this, guys. It says present power. And what's really interesting is it looks like the lion's looking one way and the tiger's looking the other. I'm getting a little bit of chariot energy from that. But you see how it says present power. I think... I do think that you and this other person are both standing in your present power. I do get a sense that, quite honestly, guys, I think that both of you are being really stubborn. Maybe you do want to move something forward with this person. And again, you know, the Two of Wands, that can be, the Two of Wands is two wands, right? It could very well be each of your wands, right? You could be very well very attracted to each other. One other thing that I'm kind of getting is that maybe you do want to spend New Year's Eve together, but neither of you wants to be the one to ask. And that's where the Five of Swords is coming into play. It's because whoever asks is going to be the weak one, right? But there are two bunnies here. You're crazy attracted to each other. The other thing is the Ace of Pentacles is the seed of something really solid. You know, so it would be for the greater good if you can put your pride aside. But I do get the sense that you feel like, I do feel like the feminine kind of feels like the masculine has the upper hand, but she's making do with what she got. And the other thing is that I feel like you I'm getting a feminine energy from you. I think you're very spiritually aligned this week, which is really great. Because the other thing about the musician, sorry, I don't know where that's coming from, magician. The magician knows how to use what they have. And I also get the sense, I'm hearing the universe saying that everything that you need is with you, right? Like it's not saying that you have to wait till you make more money or wait till you move to a better place. It's telling you can do this now. And that's a really beautiful week, guys. And honestly, maybe you are killing it with your fashion, but I'm getting a more sense of your creativity or your kindness. I get the sense that you're being very warm with people, and that's just mad attractive. The other thing is I'm hearing like word of mouth. You know, I'm seeing one of those you know, when you turn on the TV or you watch YouTube and it's like one of those entertainment television announcements, like they're reporting the weather, except they're like, so and so celebrity posted this on their Instagram today. I think that's how your lion is getting his information. And he's also getting a snapshot of how good you look too. So. But definitely stay in your present power. I think that's your power. But definitely, I think be creative and be warm. You know, try not to let the pride get out of hand. But you know, but good luck with that, because that's some interesting energy for the week. All right, so deck number 3, we got the Vice Versa Tarot. I'm just gonna shuffle it a little bit. Ooh, okay. We got Justice. All right. Beginning of the week, we're going to keep, so beginning of the week, we got Justice. Middle of the week, Strength is really, oh my gosh, that's the Page of Pentacles. Okay, and end of the week, please. Oh, wow. Queen of Wands is really making an appearance this week. That's crazy. Magician, too. Holy Toledo. Wow, guys. And that's right over the weekend. Okay, 10 of Wands. There's some interesting energy. I'm definitely seeing some common denominators here, too. Oh, if you see that posted in the description box, I do something called a common denominator. That just means that if I see certain energies, like if I see certain themes, it can be astrological, like if I see a theme of Aquarius, or, you know, if the same cards come up in several readings and it looks like a common thread amongst it, I kind of read it as being collective energy. It might kind of be, you know, just general, like all of us are kind of feeling an overarching vibe, so to speak. But let's go ahead and see. Deck number 3. What's your energy? Oh, wow. Oh, that's cool. All right. I am getting a sense with this Queen of Wands in deck 2 as well. I'm getting a little bit of a sense of mystery. But in a very alluring way. It's very magnetic. Now, you've got 2 majors, so I do think, and again, you know, if you're watching this video at the time it posts, I do think there's some amazing energy coming out for the new year. I think that we're turning a corner, and of course, I said it earlier. It's not like all of our problems are going to disappear first thing, first thing Saturday morning or anything. But I do think that there's going to be kind of I do major arcanas come up in a weekly read when there's bigger when you're feeling on a daily level the energy of a bigger event occurring in your life. That's when majors start to show in your read, and I hope that makes sense. Again, it's almost like there's a bigger shift going on in the universe that you are feeling on some random Tuesday, right? Because the wheel of fate, the wheel of fortune is turning, and it's almost like you can get a glimpse of it, right? It's almost like that day that you start your first job, or the day that you find out that you're pregnant, or the day that you get engaged. You're like, my life is going to be different moving forward. This is the beginning of something new. This is the beginning of a new cycle, of a new change, of something new and different in my life. That's the feelings that's what happens when you see majors in a weekly read. So beginning of the week, you got Justice, and this is really a beautiful Justice card. Now, first off, it's 11, which is 1-1, which, again, January 1st, 2021. But this is, first off, in this rendition, the Justice is blind. She's blindfolded, and she is holding equal scales. What's beautiful is there is Egyptian imagery here. So there is a sense of like, the other thing is there is a Virgo symbol here. So that's interesting because usually the sign of justice or the is usually a Libra symbol. But what I'm kind of getting is, what I'm seeing with this is that I'm seeing that in the beginning of the week you feel like things are becoming that you are. I feel like you feel like you're finally getting your due. So I know that's a little bit strange. Maybe you've been waiting for a long time for a promotion. Or again, it's been a really crazy year, so maybe you got a promotion and no one got a chance to really celebrate it because things got crazy. But at the beginning of the week, I get the sense that things are going to be balancing out, and it's going to feel like, first off, I get a sense like I feel like it's going to be a long time coming. Like you've waited a long time to have this justice. The other thing that I'm getting from this is that I feel like it's going to be with the Virgo sign here. Virgos are they're the checklist kind of people. They're the ones who are the sticklers for details. What I'm getting here is that, again, maybe you were waiting for the settlement of something, either that or it could be something as small as someone admitting that they were wrong. You're going to feel like, but what it is that justice will not only be served, but it's almost like it's going to go down the checklist of everything that you wanted. Like the way that I kind of think about this is that, okay, maybe you wrecked your car, and the insurance company only wanted to pay you for the tires, but you went down your checklist and you're like, no, I need a brand new car. I need I need the same power steering that I had before. I want the same engine that I had before. And finally you get cut the check that covers all of those things, right? Or maybe you had to fix your car and they weren't covering it, and you're like, they're like, oh, here, we'll just give you a check for the tires, and you're like, well, fixing the tires isn't going to do crap if we can't fix this and this and this and this and this. And so what I'm sensing here is that by the beginning of the week, possibly over the holiday, because this is kind of beginning right at the tail end of Christmas. But I feel like some kind of wrong is going to be made right, but it's going to be made right like going down the checklist. Like if someone, if you've been waiting for someone to to make something right, they're not only going to make it right, but they're gonna do all the little nuances of it's not just going to be blanket justice. I think it's really going to be like every little detail is going to be served, and you're going to be aware of those little details. The other thing that I get here is that maybe if you do have to enter into something legal, I get the sense that like you're ready to go, because the other thing is 1-1. It's like the beginning. It's like, okay, let's do this. And I feel like you have all of your ducks in a row. It's almost like you have all the paperwork, your little bullet point, you know, you have all. The other thing that I kind of get is that maybe you have to apply for something, and you have your application, you've read through all of the terms and conditions, you have your backup documentation, you're ready to go. Now, the last way that I kind of read it is that it's possible that some kind of situation might present itself that requires blind justice, meaning that I almost get the sense like I get the sense that you're going to be presented with something that you might have to make a judgment call about, and you might not be able to see the whole situation clearly. Because again, she's blindfolded. I'm really drawn to the blindfold here. But what I'm seeing here is that I feel like you might have to make the best decision that you can with what information that you have. But what you're going to do is also with that Virgo sign, what data, what information, what nuggets of proof or facts that you do have, you're going to analyze them. You're going to really comb over what information you do have. The other thing that I get is that I get a sense that if this is involving, like, if you have to make some kind of judgment call regarding a person, that you might want to ask them, you might want to seek out the little details of the situation. And it is definitely telling you that this is a major arcana, so this decision is a big one. And what you may want to do is you may want to try to gather as much facts as you can. I do get a sense that you're not going to have every detail that you want, but if you could try to ask the questions, or what information you do have, if you kind of scrutinize it a little bit the way a Virgo would, to try to glean as much data as you can because this is a big decision. The other thing is that I think with it being blindfolded is I do think that you do have to trust your gut a little bit with this situation. It is quite possible, especially with this being a masked figure, there might be someone who's kind of hiding things from you, and they might have a reason for doing it. But the thing that's beautiful about Justice is I know she seems a little sterile, a little cold, but she's fair, right? And that's the beautiful thing about, that card, is that there is, even if someone's done something kind of crappy, this person isn't going to judge you from biased emotion. They're going to judge you from fact and perception and what's right. But I do get the sense that you may want to try to really analyze the facts, try to get as full a picture as you can. I don't think that you'll have all the facts, but this is going to be kind of this is going to be an important thing. And the decision that you make here is really going to affect, it's the decision. It isn't just one little decision that's just water under the bridge. This is going to be a bigger decision that might have some long-term, effects. But I do think that you'll make the right decision, and I think that you're that type of person too. I get a strong sense that you're the type of person that is fair in your dealings. Now, the middle of the week is really quite beautiful. You got the Page of Pentacles. So I kind of read this one of two ways. If this is something legal, this might be a small settlement. I don't think that it's real huge. It's not millions or anything, but I almost get the sense like the other thing I kind of get is it's the seed of something. Like again, like with that analogy of maybe you totaled your car and then you finally get the settlement and you got the money. You got the money that you need, but it's the beginning, right? It's okay. How do I plant the seed? How do I want to invest this? How do we want to do this? Where do I want this to go towards? Now, the other thing that I kind of see is that this could be a physical gift from someone. It is, pentacles are what you value, so it doesn't necessarily have to be like jewelry or anything crazy, but maybe someone gives you some kind of practical gift in the middle of the week. But the thing that I get is that I do get the sense that it's something that you find valuable, something practical. I remember when my nieces were growing up, how every year there was one toy that was just the hot toy that every kid wanted, and you just kind of there was one toy that was like a dancing doll, like the doll danced, and she took in each leg it required 2D batteries, and how expensive those batteries are, and all I kept thinking is, God, this is going to be a real novelty toy. They're gonna, it'll be popular for 1 week, and then the next week it's going to be collecting dust, and you leave it on, you forget to turn it off, and those D batteries are just gone, right? And but it always felt like real stodgy. I felt like that when you're little and all of the advertisements for the cool hot toy are out, that's what kids want. But I was always kind of the practical stodgy aunt that would say, okay, well, why don't I get you a savings bond, and of course, a little kid, like a 6 or 7 year old, would be like, ah, that's boring, and they don't even know that it matures in like a year, you can't even cash it out until a year later, and it seems like such a stodgy, not fun gift. But when you think about it, you buy a savings bond for the same $60 as the dancing doll, and you put those away. Someday you can buy the car. Someday that might be a down payment for a house. And so that is really kind of that's kind of what the Page of Pentacles represents to me. It's the practical, but yet so much more valuable gift. It's not as flashy as the popular toy. So but that's what I'm kind of getting here. I feel like someone's going to approach you with something that seems kind of lackluster, but what I love about this card is you look and it's glowing, it's glowing. It's really a beautiful image. It's it looks so not exciting on the surface, but look at it. It has the potential. It's like the seed of something. So I do think that maybe someone will be approaching you. The other thing that I get is that it's quite possible that maybe this is some kind of legal proceedings involving a child. So quite possibly by the middle of the week, once this is done, you maybe you are putting away money. It's funny I went with that story because this could be like a like some kind of trust fund or some kind of young savers accounts for a child. So some kind of legal settlement, you might actually be putting away funds for a child. The other thing that I get is that maybe you'll be spending time with an earth sign or earth in their chart, little one. It doesn't necessarily have to be your own child. But I am almost getting, I am kind of getting that vibe. The other thing is that maybe you are planning or doing some kind of financial planning. And then by the end of the week, this is really interesting energy, guys. Is that you got the Queen of Wands and it crowns the Magician. So I do get the sense, I really get the sense, and what's amazing is it looks almost a little bit like the same woman, the way she's sitting, right? She's sitting straight towards the, looking face forward. And she looks really brave, right? And she's wearing, there's a lot of red here. So I'm getting a lot of passion and I'm getting a lot of power. Um, the other thing that I'm kind of getting is there's a little bit of an off the shoulder vibe, and I'm going to get to that in a minute. I know in North America it's winter, but we'll talk about that. Um, but yeah, I do get the sense by the end of the week, you're feeling really in your power. Um, the other thing is that I feel like you're in control. It's possible again that maybe you did have some kind of settlement or some kind of legal thing finally got resolved, and you're just the other thing is that Leo and the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles are both very good at organization. The Leos are a lot more. They have a lot more flair to it. They're not like gonna. They're not gonna Marie Kondo your house or anything. But but Leos here, they're good leaders because they know how to take action. And this is a woman who knows how to take action in a warm way, but just the expression on her face, it's almost like I get this feeling like you've taken care of business. And so by the end of the week and the end of the year, if you're watching this at the time, I feel like you felt like you've taken care of business, like you've gotten the other thing that I kind of get from this is that you know how sometimes there's contributions that you have to make before the end of the year. Maybe it's something like that. Um, but I do feel like you've got everything in order. I feel like you've accomplished. You know, I came, I saw, I conquered. You accomplished what you set out to do. The other thing is with the root of this being the magician, I feel like you're really ready for the new year. Like you're going to go into New Year's Eve feeling really empowered. The other thing that I kind of get is that if this was either you making some kind of decision about something or if this was some kind of legal settlement, it's almost like you've got your game plan. You know what you want to do. Um, Now, just one other way to throw it out there is that this could be legal, where at the beginning of the week you might have actually thrown down some legal paperwork to get some kind of action started. Um, and what this is I'm getting a little bit of a come at me bro kind of energy with the end of the week. Again, it's almost like you know you the magician has all of the elements on the table. They have the sword, they have the ace of pentacles, they have the cup, they have the wand, and and the other thing is that there is a conduit. You know, you see that he's a channel from energy from the universe down to the earth. So I do get the sense, and you see a shooting star there. There's been a lot of stars. We talked about like the conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter, um, and um, and Jupiter is a fire ruler. Um, but yeah, I get the sense that you have plans, right? And you're really sitting in your power. I feel like by the end of the week, you're gonna feel empowered. I do think that you're going to feel strong. I think that that's going to bring a lot of attraction to you. The other thing is that I feel like it's not like, I don't get a sense like you have all the money in the world, but I feel like you have a good start. Because again, all of those elements are aces, right? It's an ace of pentacles, it's an ace of cups, it's an ace of swords. It's almost like you have everything that you need on the table and you're ready to make it happen. And I also feel like you're confident, like in yourself. You're ready for the new year. Um, the other thing that I get is that maybe it has been a long year for you, and that you know you're starting to feel a new like a new wave of energy. Now, your oracle card is you got the number 3 of intention. And that's a really powerful word, because the other thing is that I'm seeing a lot of purplish kind of sky, you know? And when you wish upon a star, that's an intention, right? Um, the other thing is this might be your energy where maybe you're investing in something, you know? Maybe you're taking the proceeds from something. The other thing that you might be doing is you might be really researching something before you invest in it, you know, to kind of make a decision, which also is kind of a Virgo Libra thing. You might be weighing up a choice. Might be weighing up a decision. And the other thing I kind of get with this being a page is it would be something new for you. Like it would be the first time that you're investing in something like that. And that doesn't necessarily have to be a business venture. It could be, it could be you investing in a new job. It could be you investing in a new home or saving up for those goals. But what's interesting is it says the number three, and threes usually mean growth and expansion. And it says behind a mask. So what's happening is that this is a little bit of contradictory energy because the Queen of Wands rarely hides, right? She's not clandestine in the way she does things. Usually she's completely flamboyant in the way that she does things. She's usually the woman who will wear hot pink and come, hot pink hot pants and just walk in the room. But she's very tasteful about it. But Queen of Wands women they can be very dynamic. They usually are the ones who wear the really wild Met Gala gowns, But behind a mask, and this being intention, one thing that I do kind of get, because there is a blindfold here and a mask here. One thing I kind of see with this, you know how when you go to a masquerade ball, it's almost like you putting on a new persona, like you're disguising yourself, but you're also pretending to be someone different. And that's very much a Queen of Wands energy because she's very much the thespian. A lot of Leos are actors or actresses. And I do get this sense, like, I do, and this being a page, that's what I'm kind of getting here, guys. I'm not getting a deception energy from this. I'm getting a feeling like you want to try something new. You want to try something new. One other thing that I kind of get from this is that maybe because Virgo and Leo, Virgo follows Leo on the astrological scale. And you see, when you look at a justice, they don't dress very, provocatively. They're very plain in their clothes, and you would not look at Justice and think, and you wouldn't wolf whistle at Justice, right? She doesn't look like a real foxy. You don't think seductress when you look at Justice. So. But what I'm kind of seeing here is that I think it isn't that you're throwing caution to the wind. I'm not getting that, but I think in the past that you've always been a very careful person. I think you've always analyzed the facts and made really balanced and measured decisions. And I think you're being called, and I think you have the opportunity, like you have the seed of something here. You have a pentacle, and the other thing is the pentacle's on the table too, right? You have the opportunity to try something new. I also get the sense that you have the opportunity to strike out on your own. Like, I think you really get a chance to be your own person, and I think it would almost get you a lot of attention. Like, you have the ability to lead and be your own woman. This could very well be like you looking forward to buying a house, but I am getting a strong sense with this imagery. It's almost like you want to try on a new persona. You're tired of the same old. But what you will do is you will make a measured decision. You're not going to do anything crazy or impulsive. I mean, but you know what it is? It's almost like it feels impulsive to you. So, beginning of the week, you're going to have a few decisions to make. Middle of the week, you're going to be starting on, you're going to feel like this is new, like this is something you've never done before, like you're trying on a mask, you're trying on a whole new personality. And by the end of the week, it's going to make you feel really like you're in your power. And you're actually going to feel a little bit badass. The other thing is that by New Year's Day, it's almost like you have plans set for the new year. You have intentions set, and you want to be a different person. You want to have a new experience, right? And you're brave enough. That's the other thing, is that the Queen of Wands, she's very brave. She's very courageous. You're brave enough to dare to go after this dream and not be as reserved as you have been in the past. You are going to make a calculated decision, but then you're going to go for it, right? And I almost feel like this is your New Year's resolutions or something. But behind a mask, I do think that, again, it's almost like I also get the sense that maybe you feel like you've been hiding behind a mask for a long time, and you're ready to do something different. You're ready to try on a new something. You're ready to do something new, and you're ready to be bold about it. Now, one other thing that I did kind of notice is that she does have a dress on, but if you look, it kind of looks like one side is showing a little bit of shoulder. And here in this picture, she also has kind of like a side shoulder. Those sweaters have been really popular. Like, if you know if you've ever seen Flashdance, the Jessica Biel, Jennifer Biel. She had it was a popular 80s trend where you take a sweatshirt and you cut the collars off of it, and it would really slink and show off one shoulder. Now, I'm in North America and it's pretty cold here, but that's been a popular thing. Also, this is a very 80s thing with the really wide belt. I don't know why I'm getting all Libra with this. But I do get the sense that maybe you are kind of making a fashion statement. Maybe you are wearing some kind of off the shoulder or kind of slouchy, borderless sweatshirt or something. But it's going to look real trendy. I also get the sense that I'm getting the sense that people are really going to feel that shift in you. Like, people know that you're planning something. It's almost going to be kind of dynamic in a mysterious way. People can sense that you're ready to start something really daring and new. And that's going to make you real attractive. Like, people around you can kind of feel that. They sense your energetic vibe and your fashion vibe. But all right, guys, so I was so glad. That was a really great week. All three piles were really wonderful. I'm so glad. I really feel like, this energy this week has been a lot brighter. Last week was not bad, but we definitely had a little bit of a, blue Christmas kind of feeling. So I'm glad that we had some really, positive vibes. I think everyone is looking forward to the new year. And I sincerely hope that that you have a wonderful and joyous close to your 2020. It has been a challenging year, but I think it's taught us a lot, and we've all grown. I hope that you and yours are safe and healthy and happy. And then and I really am thankful for all of my subscribers, all of my followers. Thank you for supporting my channel in this last year, in these last 2 years. I am so very grateful. And if you're so inclined, please join me on Tuesday. We're going to continue with the How to Tarot with the Two of Cups. So I hope I can catch you then, and have a great week, guys. Bye.